I put my faith in you. They turn their backs on you. Man, I'm never going back. Man, I'm never going back. I put my faith in you. They turn their backs on you.
What's up?
What's up? This is Rebel Ray, and this is your host,
R. Collins.
and we are the hosts of Against All Odds. And welcome back. We're super excited about the upcoming events that's happening in the neighborhood, y'all. We're back open, y'all. They haven't officially said it, but a lot of you have returned back to work. Kids have returned back to summer school.
Yep.
We getting it popping. A lot of people are excited.
Yeah.
And so I know I'm excited.
I'm excited. I'm tired of being like that. I'm serious. I don't know about y'all, but I don't like staying at the house all day.
Look,
You know?
and going a little natural today for the podcast.
Well,
it's okay, ladies, to let your hair breathe. Take it out of them weaves, y'all. You know what I'm talking about?
It's good.
You know, let your nails breathe. You know what I mean? Which brings me to, more information. I always like to share y'all with blessings, encourage y'all and inspire.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I open up my
Go ahead. Go.
next business.
Yep.
Fourth business. I said I wanted 7 residual income streams.
She said residual.
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 He's gonna do this again. Look, he's gonna do this again, and then it's gonna be on him. But I said I wanted to do the 7 residual streams of income and be committed to me, and also pledging my money, personal money, into Black businesses. I said I was going to dedicate myself this year.
That's powerful.
Some of y'all have been difficult with me being able to spend my money, but for the most part, it's been successful. And so I have bought in underneath. And I am a market retail partner. That's what it's called.
Well.
With Monet Vegan Hairline. So the vegan hairline, I will be going vegan for my hair.
For the hair, not eating, but.
So they like all things, Black women, we're ahead of the revolution. A lot of people don't know that, but we make the revolution TikTok and make it go. So this hair care line, Monet, and I will be having some products and having my little site up for individuals to buy either the hair care line, the skin line, or the wellness, which is for your vitamins, probiotics, but everything is no GMOs. They didn't slaughter any animals in the process. Animals. He's gonna get on me.
I'm sorry, she's slaughtering these words, y'all. Animals. Okay. We got to look that up. What is an animal?
You're such a bully.
No, go ahead.
Such a bully. Golly. And so, excited about that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Tell us what you've been got going on. What's going on?
I just got too much going on. I got so much going on. It ain't even funny, man. Just came back from Hawaii. That was pretty good. Whoa.
Calabunga, dude, hang loose.
It was so awesome.
Yeah.
We got to do a trip.
Okay.
Adult, family trip.
Mm-hmm. They ain't gonna find me though. I'm always the auntie that be gone.
She gonna take off. She gonna get this stuff.
I got a babysitter. Look, no.
Oh, we know all about that. Couple weeks. I'll be going to Orlando. Oh, got a show tomorrow.
Okay.
Got a few shows.
Man, tell them about the show, man. You never plug yourself. Our
I
college
don't.
is super humble. I have to be the one to tell them about you. Let's go.
I really, I'm really shying away from the music. I really am.
No,
Like,
but don't tell your fans that, brother.
I really am. I'm really moving towards more motivational speaking and encouragement. Because there's a lot of people in different situations that wake up every day that don't feel like they got what it takes to make it. And I'm a perfect example to those who can make it. I mean, you.
So that brings me to my next point,
Mhm.
right? And we're gonna go back to your announcements.
Mm-hmm.
Being a one-dimensional person, like, why can't I be a fifth-dimensional person? And a lot of you that don't know, I speak in a lot of code because I read a lot.
You do.
But if you woke, you know what I mean about being a fifth-dimensional person.
I'm asleep. You got to tell me what that is. What is a fifth
Being
dimension?
a fifth-dimensional person is that you woke to what's in the middle realm too. You can see your third eye and perception, and your intuition is in tune with what goes around you.
Oh,
right? So you're a fifth-dimensional person. You don't just see what's on the outside.
you
of
see
the
everything.
cube. You see what's on the
You
inside
see your
of that
front,
core.
your back, your side,
You're on the inside of that core, right?
Yeah.
So you're in tune with self.
Okay.
And what you want to be. So I ask you again. You said, hey, I might slow down, but isn't that platform as encouraging too? When you have such a beautiful message. He can actually hold a tune, y'all. A lot of ad-libs that y'all hearing his music, that's him singing.
Don't believe.
So it's not just rapping, but he actually can be like, do a little woo-hoo like
See,
that.
don't put me up.
Soloist.
That ain't like eating what did I eat? A worm. I ate a worm, y'all. Okay? It's not like eating a worm.
You still keeping that up, but you know what? I support you.
Please support me.
That was like one of the biggest things.
That was a very traumatizing event in my life.
Man, you're going to be okay.
I'm going to remember that for the rest of my life.
Okay. Every time someone sees me, they're like, Rachel, you killed it on the crickets.
You did. I'm going to just beast mode. I mean, like, we put you in the jungle with nothing. You coming back with a meat coat. I believe that. Hey, them jungle animals ain't got nothing on Rachel. Trust me.
I tell people I'm a pioneer woman. You feel me? I'm a pioneer. My daddy taught me some stuff. That's probably why I can't keep a man now. Huh?
Well, it's different elements in keeping a man. Different elements.
Well, I got all the elements. I just don't want to act right. Hello, somebody. But getting back to you.
Yeah.
So you have the actual. So tell us about what's going on this weekend. Where you're gonna be performing?
I don't really know too much about it, but I do know that I will be performing this weekend. They've been promoting the mess out of it.
Okay.
We usually get large turnouts, really good turnouts, to a lot of these events. So we're expecting an even larger event, tomorrow. Also, I'm going to tell you guys before the flyer comes out, for those of you who have heard of the 116 Squad with Lecrae, I will be doing a music video with Thizzle.
Let's go.
And we will be doing a show next month. All right, so I'm telling y'all because y'all my peeps, and y'all, you guys really support us on this podcast. So yeah, there it is. But other than that,
excited. So tell us about Aloha. So what does Aloha mean?
You know what? They did tell me.
Yes, that's one of the first things they tell the tourists.
What it is, and they told me, and I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure I can figure out the meaning. I was so excited to be there. I was like, yeah, aloha. I was at the.
I'm on Lava Rock. I got some dope.
Hey, you guys don't understand.
And y'all had some dope videos. How did y'all get people to videotape y'all and stuff? Like, y'all had some dope videos.
See, look, I will tell you guys. Like, a lot of you guys have been to Hawaii, but for Hawaii, for me, was extremely special because my mom's watching. She can respond in the comments. Like, ever since I was a little kid, I've always wanted. I had an infatuation with Hawaii. I don't know what it was about Hawaii, and the infatuation that I had with it. But it was everything that I expected, everything that, I thought it to be. And, we got dope videos because I believe, we did a few dope things, like going to some of the luau's, some of the dolphins,
Man.
I'm going to.
The luau was nice, and I told them,
I've never seen a
said,
show like
bring back a Samoan in the briefcase. And my sister said she couldn't fit nobody.
You know them Samoans ain't fitting in the briefcase, y'all.
I want an island man. Bring me back somebody in the briefcase. They like, Rachel, just stop it.
Hey, can we get? Is there any available bachelors out there for
I
Rebel
don't
Right?
want y'all. I don't want y'all. I just be talking. Look.
Thank you, Miss Allison Morton Pritchard. I really appreciate that. You always have, really beautiful things to say. Thank you. And likewise, definitely.
So, did you get some lava beads? What earth did you bring back? Because
I brought back
Hawaii,
a few souvenirs.
Okay, Hawaii is a very sacred land because guess what? It was formed by a volcano, y'all. So it was land that came about thousands of years. But the people in their teaching are very family oriented. They are
very beautiful people.
They are very beautiful.
Very kind,
yes,
polite people. I mean, just awesome people. You know what I mean? But so in other news, in 2 weeks, I will be turning 40.
Yes, Lord. 40.
Whenever y'all youngsters see me, y'all need to say OG. You feel me?
I can't. Not OG already. Not
yet? Okay.
OG. Right. What about
no, that's like a dope fiend term.
No,
what's
it's
up,
not. Yeah. Homie is a dope fiend term.
You ain't never heard that? Auntie. No. What's up, Auntie?
No.
Yeah, that's what they see.
I
I've been in the streets. Is
okay, but my family from down south.
It just depends on the term.
Exactly.
On culture, how though. It depends on how you phrase it. Because could be
real bad. Huh?
It can be bad.
I will never call somebody a homie. I might be like, "What's up, Crick Killer?" No, I'm saying, no, I'm not. But I do teach Amaya brother, sister, so and so, auntie, uncle, so and so.
No, yeah, definitely.
It runs into a problem when she be like, "My uncle."
Everybody can't call you unc. They don't know. Everybody can't call you unc because from your actual nieces and nephews and stuff like that, unc could be a good thing, but if it's coming from like people on the street or look, I'm a hood baby. I grew up in the hood streets, so unc is not good. Unc is
okay.
Yeah, trust me on this one. Also,
teach me the team.
Also, in a couple weeks, for all this month I'm about to be turned up for the birthday.
You turned up for the birthday.
Yeah,
live your best life. I'm your cheerleader. I'm here for it.
Listen, I'm going to Orlando.
Yes.
Then I'm gonna go to Vegas. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go to Orlando. Mm-hmm. Then I'm gonna go to Puerto Rico.
Okay, Puerto Rico.
You feel me? I'm telling y'all.
You can fit a Puerto Rican in the briefcase. You can. Bring me back somebody.
You want?
I want somebody foreign.
I'll try.
Ship them over there like you ship the cars.
No, let's see if
somebody gonna take that out of context. I am not a racist. I'm too black to be a racist.
Well, you just said you wanted to be Puerto Rican, so
they black too.
Okay.
The black diaspora is everywhere, y'all. We was thrown everywhere around the world.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't let them fool you.
But yeah, I am looking towards doing more motivational speaking. I'm looking towards like really telling my story because it's a lot that I don't speak about that that I know can help somebody.
Yes.
That I know can help lift somebody up. And that's where I'm really at right now with lifting people up and giving people that don't see hope or don't feel like they can make it or have see a better difference in their life. Just show them mine. You know what I mean? Like in where I came from and how God is developing me. And my story is far from over, but God has taken me a long way in a short period of time, and I definitely just want to go around sharing that for people, and building people up.
Got it, definitely. You build people up in your music, so going full throttle and motivational speaking, and just to see you in a suit, you look really good in a suit.
Thank you, sis. I appreciate that.
When it gets like a little cooler, we can probably dress up a little bit more.
Yeah, we can do
But
that.
it's hot.
It's burning up, y'all.
It's hotter than Satan's socks.
Oh my goodness.
It's hot.
It's burning up. It's burning. So also, before we get to what we were going to talk about today, we want to plug Juneteenth. And we have one of the spearheaders here, and you know, you've been doing a very good job. You've been investing money. You've been doing, making a lot of moves behind the scenes. Like I said, when you guys see Mrs. Rebel Ray, know, and I want you to know that she was one of the main people spearheading the Juneteenth out here in Stockton and bringing it together and bringing everybody together.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a unified event. It's not something separate, and she had a very big part in bringing people together.
Thank you very much.
And it's very important that we have people like that, because guess what? We need people on the front lines that are going to take the leadership role and bring positivity, and there's a lot of positive things about this event.
Oh yes,
a lot of positive things about this event.
A lot of brand new things too, and it was really due to the young people. I'm going to give a shout out to DeMar Johnson, CEO, Executive Director of Balloons Over Bullets. He found Balloons Over Bullets to intersect and decrease some of the violence that was happening within our city by reintroducing play by a means of bridging the gap with these children and being able to talk and play again and know, because the more likely your brethren, the less likely you're going to take his life.
Yeah.
And so that's the concept of going forth in love. Shout out to Aaron Chapman, mentor and poet, to the cause and to the movement. He also is a part of the Concrete team and also a part of Balloons Over Bullets. He's working now, the nonprofit that he works for is kind of skipping my mind, but it's a mentorship. And so he is in the schools and he's supporting with that. Shout out to Carefree Praise, Miss Terry Monroe. Miss Terry Monroe has really just bridged the gap. She is the bridge to help the youth elevate and come together with the elders to have that. And so shout out to her, Miss Gloria Johnson, and Rosemary. And Art Collins, even being my partner here on Against All Odds, Art Collins is my brother-in-law, his family. And he supports my visions. And a lot of people can't see my vision because it's so out there sometimes for people. But what I've learned, Art Collins, is because it was given to you by God, everybody ain't gonna have it, and everybody ain't gonna know how to execute it. A lot of people thought this was too far-fetched for some of the things that we did in this short amount of time. But let me tell you, people have been calling in. People have been saying how much they want to support Black businesses, y'all. People are waking up. People are saying how they want to support the movement. And when I say the movement, just progressing further. We want to be treated equally, right? We don't want to be treated with a bunch of disparities that we have to be dealing with. And so people have been calling to say, how can I contribute to Juneteenth? How can I come? And, y'all get your money. Get your money in your hand for Juneteenth. I know it's Father's Day weekend, but take $120. Yeah.
This weekend?
Father's Day weekend is this weekend or next weekend, I thought.
Oh, okay.
We need to look into that, but I thought it was Father's Day weekend. But, this is the Emancipation Proclamation of slaves. Your ancestors gave a lot for you to be sitting where you're at listening to us. I know mine did. Mine was raped, pillaged, taken, and kidnapped, and indentured servitude. All of that. Trust me, I do my family history. And so we have to be very cognizant to continue progressing for everyone, for them, and for our children to come. Yes. And that's my little spiel right there, Art Collins.
Makes sense.
And I hope I didn't miss anybody. Shout out to Charles Ware Jr., the director and organizer of the City Mass Choir. It was not far-fetched if you know the right people. He is a master of getting those individuals and instruments together, those that play the instruments. We're going to have a live gospel band, and we're going to church, y'all, at Juneteenth. And shout out to Bobby Jones. He's the headliner with Milieu 1440. some of your classic covers, good family music. Y'all can say the Hot Girl Summer and City Girls and Meg Thee Stallion, because I don't have her knees anyway. For this festival, we're not going to be playing it. So hopefully you're not disappointed. We want to keep the people out here. And so shout out to them. Shout out to Dominique Kreiner. When I tell you this girl is bad, this girl is bad. She brought it. She came in. I said, Dominique, I want a fashion show. And this is what I want. And I want to support Black brands. And she was on it. You hear me? She was on it. And she brought 18 brands, y'all. We have 18 brands in the city of Stockton with their own clothing line, with their own hair products, with their own makeup products. Okay? So you're going to be able to see all of that. So come out. I'm passionate about it because I believe in it. Art Collins is passionate about it. So I'm going to be representing for us. Art Collins is going to be out of town. It's his birthday weekend. But we're going to be supporting all the way.
Definitely.
So that's my little advertisement.
Yeah. Say less. I mean, you guys heard it. That's what it is. It is what it is. It's going to be an awesome time. I wish I could be there.
Yeah. We'll take a lot of film. Hopefully I can get, I just ordered a drone to get some of the film because a lot of y'all like, Juneteenth don't never be cracking like we need to. This one gonna be cracking.
It's gonna be popping, y'all.
For sure.
And if you are not there, you're going to be missing something special.
Yeah.
Especially out here in Stockton.
Show your face.
Mm-hmm.
For all y'all complaining that Stockton don't have nothing, come show your face. Come show your support so these vendors can come back.
Yes.
Right now we got over 45 vendors. So let's do this thing.
Yeah, man.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. And so we're moving on to our topic at hand. We're going to be talking about education today. Art Collins actually wrote the points for this podcast. And so we're going to be talking about education and the importance of education. There is some rebuttal against why education may not be as important as it was, meaning the debt that you pile up after the super absorption of what you're going, the super absorption. I'm making up words again.
It's okay. Hey, I'm getting used to it.
You on the
road.
What am I trying to say? When it's just too many people in one area trying to look for that same job. They got a mass
absorption.
See, that ain't even a word, bro.
I don't know. I'm trying to follow you. I'm trying to
well,
follow
anyways, at its capacity. So, like, nursing will always be something that you want to pursue because someone else says that.
Well, the only thing with nursing is and I used to work at a hospital. I used to work for Kaiser. It is a very, very, very demanding position. And when I tell you it is demanding, I mean, around the clock demanding. It's no joke. And don't be one of the nurses that's on call. Most of them are.
They're making that money.
They're making that money,
but the thing is, are they living?
Some money ain't good money.
Right.
Be real. I can't be spending. Your time is the most valuable thing that you will ever have in this world. And if you are spending most of your time working, you can earn hundreds of $1,000s a year, and all you're doing is work. Guess what?
Work. Singing it.
And if all you're doing is working, guess what? You're not enjoying your life. Life is short. You gotta enjoy
like what they say, you're working like a Jamaican. That's what 3 times harder, got 4 times the jobs.
Yep.
But living in California, Maine, New York, I mean that's the norm.
Yeah.
I just looked at Culver City. I always try to figure out what type of job you gotta live in places like that, where the 2-bedroom unit is going for $9,000. 2-bedroom units. Same thing in the city. And studios are starting at $3,000.
Well,
Stockton for a 1-bedroom, we're at $1,900. So
for a
1-bedroom, we're at $1,900 right now.
That's for 1 bedroom. Insane.
That's the valley of the armpits.
That's insane.
I love Stockton. I do.
I mean, we're close to the Bay, and I feel like eventually all these Bay Area people moving out here, we're gonna have Bay Area prices.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, but eventually, or what they got right now, huh?
Yeah. Well, you see, Tracy already converted. It used to be just cheap as Stockton, and now.
Well, real estate says that they believe in is East Bay. So they believe Stockton is East Bay. That's what the realtor I spoke to believe, that they're going by East Bay rates. So even in business and even in, like you guys are all looking for commercial properties, that might be something different, but you're going to be paying the price.
Yeah.
You gotta pay the price.
Yeah,
to be the boss.
You gotta pay the price to be the boss, for sure.
So looking back at education is important, right? Because it's something that you can actually pass on to your generation. But if you don't get the right type of education, some of y'all still own some ignorant stuff out there.
I know a lot of people that have degrees and aren't able to use them.
Yeah.
I went to trade school, and we'll talk about that. But I wasn't able to use what I did because I didn't even like the field once I got into it.
And that's what a lot of times we do. We'll praise somebody, they'll get a job, but we won't praise them when they want to open their own business. And I'm open to my children either A, when they turn 18, opening a business, or B, going off to school. So I don't really necessarily believe in kicking them out of the house. I won't do that for other reasons, and I don't know why we do that.
Yeah.
Because when you accumulate the debt that you accumulate
it's a lot of debt.
In school, how is your kid even you wonder why your kid's swinging around a pole. Some of y'all mamas got y'all kids swinging around a pole and doing some other stuff, picking up old ladies and stuff for money.
I'm not going to say the mamas do, because, everybody has their own choice. But you can go to school, and it seems like you can get a good job, and then guess what? You're paying off that debt over and over each month for years, for the next 20 years. And then you're trying to get a house, and you're trying to start your life.
Trust me.
And the debt is just piled up already. Yeah, you got a good job, but guess what? You got debt. We are not saying this to, discourage anybody from getting education. This is just the reality of it.
But deprogram yourself.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing it traditionally. Go open a business.
Yeah.
I had businesses my dad exposed me to when I didn't take the opportunity. And get out of your studying too. You don't have to stay here just because. Go explore. Go vacation. Go Uber in different cities. A lot of y'all didn't think about that. Ubering in different cities just to see the city.
Too.
You Uber all day. You make your money. You get a hotel room and then go to the next city.
Yeah.
That's how you explore traveling, everybody. For some of you all that took credit out in your son's or daughter's name, capitalize that. Telephone bill, they already got established credit. So keep up with the credit, mommies and daddies who do that. Because I know I'm talking to somebody. Keep up with the credit. They can have an established credit line, so when they do go to buy a house or a business, they have that established credit history. That's how we have to think. Now, I'm going to tell you who put me up on game on that. My Filipino brothers and sisters.
Oh, wow.
They took out a credit card at the age of 16, added their child on as a user, and established that credit line.
Do that. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. You know what? I will say this. A lot of us go to college. But for me, this is how I look at college. And I went and got my degree. But I got my degree for different reasons. Not to do what I'm about to say now. Now, you got a lot of people that get their degree to go and work for somebody. This is what their main thought is. They're like, you know what? I'm going to go get this degree, and I'm going to get this grand job, and I'm going to work for years and years and years, and I'm retired when I'm 60, and and celebrate life for 10 or 15 years, and I'm going to die. So that is not fundamentally, that is not how I think. So the reason why I got my degree was because, and I got my degree in business. And the reason why I got my degree in business because I have decided that I want to be a business owner. So some going.
So you invested yourself.
I invested in myself.
It
was an investment in myself to understand business, taxes, and everything in regards to the business world. This is why I got a business degree. So when I'm in these conversations with some of these business execs or whoever I come in front of, somewhere down the line, I'm not looking crazy. I understand exactly what's going on. And so I educated myself so that I will understand what's going on. On the flip side, you have a lot of people that, they get their degrees to work for somebody, to become a worker.
And that's okay too. Some of you
that is okay for
some of you all have trauma being independent.
some people do. Some
They
people are
need the
very afraid.
stability. They're afraid.
Some people are very afraid, and
You have to acknowledge that.
and fear will keep us at the same level of life.
Yeah.
See, I'm one thing about me. I'm a person. I don't have fear like that. I don't have fear in what I'm gonna make, the money I'm gonna make tomorrow, or I don't really care about that. What I'm thinking about is, first of all, long term. I think long term. I'm a long term thinker. Second of all, I think on a daily on how I can capitalize off of creating a business and how I can make it work for myself. And what steps do I need to take to make that happen? Okay, so there's a lot of things that, and this is why I got a degree, to make that happen. There's a lot of different arenas I'm venturing into to make this happen. So I had to get my degree in business. Some people just get a degree, That's cool. But guess what? There's debt that comes with it. The Bible says without a vision, the people perish. If you don't have a vision on why you're doing what you're doing, guess what? You're going to find yourself in a ton of debt. But if you have a vision,
and we're supposed to pay our debt.
We have to pay our debts.
Yeah.
If you have a vision along with what you're trying to embark upon, you will be successful, and just believe in yourself. The best person that you can invest in is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself.
It's very important.
And so you all are not alone. I caught this concept late because I took on the traditional mindset of the Western world, that you need to get a higher education to understand what you want to do in life and who you want to be, and to be the top position executive and all that. When all of that really is in you, a lot of common sense is not found in people who are even educated. I've worked with a lot of educated fools that were not competent in just engaging in social atmospheres. So when I say I have friends who are doctors, lawyers, people who are just taken away from social interactions, they are socially inept. They never learned that concept, even though they were book smart. Yes. They were A through Z, knew everything, can recite everything, but could not continue a conversation. So those things also, along with working with your hands and critically thinking and being solution focused on how to get yourself out of something, comes with real world experience. Mm-hmm. And you can get that with your own business. Yes, you can. And I just want to, kind of bounce off of what you were saying a little bit. And I have 1,000% agree with what you're saying and understand what you're saying. I've had jobs where, I was the boss over 550 associates. And when I got the job and, met, some of my peers who were, in similar positions as me, I found out, and I wasn't even educated during this time, y'all. I found out that these folks really didn't know what they were doing. Right. How I learned what I knew was through experience, like Rebel said, through experience and really learning the business in what I was doing. And this is why I was able to manage such large amounts of people, So just to kind of circle back, I found myself in situations where I was the one making all the decisions with people who were equal with me that didn't know how to make the decision, and they were more educated than me. So experience is very vital. You don't really need a degree to gain experience. And I'm not. Again, I have my degree, so I'm not pushing anybody away from getting that degree. We're just providing another perspective and being honest. Yes. You got I have a friend, he has 10 degrees. And I told him, do not get another degree or we're going to fight. Because you're not doing anything with your life. And even IRS does not allow you to be a lifetime student anymore. I grew up with lifetime students, and all they have ever done is go to school. These are real life people who do that.
There
You
is.
could be an educated fool. Like, be cool and go learn and explore yourself. You want to learn another language? Go teach in another country. Go teach English and be an ambassador. They have those programs through the teaching here in the United States.
They do.
And they send you over, and it's a little bit of money, but a lot of people dollar doesn't stand up a lot of money doesn't stand up to the dollar. So currency, excuse me. So you can go and explore that way. If you have children, a lot of times they will give you a stipend to take your child with you. Give them that exploration of learning people's different cultures, you teaching. And a lot of you, all you need is a high school diploma to pass this EBS.
Yeah. So
That's education.
if you want to know how to climb, look, I started off sweeping floors. 15 felonies, nothing to bounce off of. I'm gonna tell y'all.
But even before that, though, you were pursuing your education.
I was. I actually, before I even was incarcerated, I graduated from a trade school, and I graduated from a trade school.
This is why he was such
operations.
a smart cookie in the first place that landed him in prison. No. Don't forget that. The booger was smart, okay?
So
he had real social skills. No.
Oh my goodness. So I graduated from a trade school and I went to become a computer engineer. Now, as I started going into this field, I realized I didn't like it at all, not one bit. So then that's what caused me to start going into life crime and all that. But I say that to say this. When I came home, I had no experience because guess what? I've been incarcerated for 10 years. All the experience that I had, what am I going to put on the application?
They do that.
What am I going to put on the application? I was employed 10, 11, 12 years prior to me.
And that's the pros and the cons too for
Right.
the system.
So there's always a way to, it's all about being meticulous in your thinking, right?
Methodical too.
Yes, methodical and calculated. So in my mind, I knew that, okay, I'm coming home. I'm not going to have any experience. What can I do what can I put on this resume and be truthful with what I'm putting on the resume? And at the same time, get a job based on the experience that I've gained in other places. So this is what I did, right? I said, you know what? And this is going out to people who say they can't get a job. I don't have an education.
It's time to think outside the box.
It's time to think outside the box.
And may I say a disclaimer and then jump back on that? If the pandemic didn't teach you anything about how the system is broken and how you can fall trapped in the system and lose everything, you got to establish some type of fallback system because some of you all waited on unemployment, including myself. I did. I was panicky at first, but I had to remember what I had learned, the things I didn't learn in school and the things I did learn in school, and go to work for myself to just supply for my children and to keep things afloat.
Yeah, it can be very difficult. And this is the time where, sometimes what we do is we panic. So it's like swimming, right? Somebody who knows how to swim is going to jump in and they're going to swim.
Yeah.
But to a person who doesn't know how to swim, they're going to hop in the water. And if they're in a part of the water where they can't touch the bottom of the ground, the ocean or pool or whatever, they're going to start panicking. And guess what? By them panicking, they're going to drown. And if you're around them and they're panicking, you're trying to save them, you're going to drown with them. Same thing in the world. It takes
survival of the fittest.
Listen, it takes a few seconds to panic.
Chestnut
checkers.
Chestnut checkers.
Yeah. But when you think about your next move, take some time to go into thought about your next move.
How you're going to execute.
And how you're going to execute it. This is what I do. Like when I came home, I sit down, I think it out, I plan it out, and then I execute. Going back to what I was saying. So I didn't have any experience. I have 15 felonies. Who's going to hire me, right? So what I did was I said, okay, what can I do? I said, Rebel Ray, I was a cook when I was in there.
Okay.
I was a cook. I built a house in there.
Come on now.
I fixed air conditioners.
Come on. Oh, that resume was looking
Listen,
nice.
So all of that experience I gained, this is what I did. So let me tell you guys what I did, and this is how I got my first job. On my resume, this is what I did. And this is to all of you who say, I can't get a job. And it's just about thinking outside of the box, taking time to think. So what I did was, on my resume, and I took some time to think about it, I said, all right, I did that. I was a cook. So I gave it a fancy name for me being a cook for almost 10 years. And I put that on my resume to cover the gap,
and
the
time
gap.
Tell them where you can plug them on where they can get the job descriptions at. All you got to do is Google job description of sous chef.
That's what I did.
Or prepping chef.
Yes, I Googled fancy
Copy
terms.
and paste that and put it on the resume.
And put it in your own words.
Yes.
I Googled fancy terms of like, so if you mow lawns, going around, you can put a fancy term to that to make it sound really good, like you did something like really great, right? So what I did was I put a fancy term to it, and I told them that I worked for the state of California for 10 years. Did y'all catch that?
I can't do it, Jesus.
I can't make this
I was
up.
not supposed to laugh like that.
I told them
you are just this crazy, brilliant, crazy man.
That I worked for the state of California for the past 10 years, and I gave them the phone number. But the phone number I gave them was a number I knew they couldn't get through to nobody. You're going to have to go through, please hold, please hold, please hold. Sometimes we have to think these things out. Okay? And guess what? It got me my first job at what was it? A warehouse.
Jesus, it's too hot for this.
I'm trying to
too
tell
much
you.
for this. It's too much.
Hey, but look.
I wouldn't have never. I'm too scared to lie. I'm serious.
I didn't lie, though. Listen, let me tell you.
He did lie, though. He did lie.
It was not a lie. I did work for the state of
California as a prison
inmate. I earned 27 cents an hour working for the state of California.
If that's not brilliant on how you reframe things, that is taking control of your narratives. Y'all, heart it up.
Hey.
Heart it up right now. Heart that. Look, let me go to my phone and heart that up. That is taking control of your narrative. When people say that you cannot get what you need to get in life, you reframe yourself in the context that they put you in. You take that power back and you move forward into your destiny. Hello, somebody.
Rebel, I went into the interview confident. I went in there. They said, "So, Mr. Collins, I see here you work for the state of California for 10." Yes, I did. Yes, and I went in deep detail. Yeah. I said, and I have a lot of experience. I said, I ran a team. I can run any team. I said, I may not have the experience to run your team, but the experience that I gained with running this team as a cook, I know that I can take that experience and run this team.
Come on now.
And guess what? They gave me a shot. Okay, so it's all about
too much wisdom right now. This is knowledge dropping. If you don't got a pen, did y'all hear what I just said? Reclaim your destiny by retransforming and reframing how your content's about you.
Remember?
You hear me? That is crazy. I wouldn't have never thought to say.
But
let me
tell you something else, Rebel. Right? So listen. Now, I'm going to be coming out with a book on how to help people feel confident with going to the workplace and when they're dealing with discrimination or dealing with bosses that are trying to, come down on you extremely hard. And it's not illegal for them to come down on you hard, but it is illegal for them to do it in a discriminating fashion. Now, so I said that to say this.
And now, this is like forever concrete. So whatever you put out on the podcast, you got to show them that.
No, definitely.
He's going to be showing you guys updates.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen, and I'm going to have
just
a documentary.
Like I made him eat that worm.
She made me eat the worm. And I'm going to come out with a documentary for it. So just to let you guys know how methodical this was, I had a lawsuit, and during my lawsuit, my resume got brought up, right? So I'm on the top floor in Sacramento, on a high rise. They got the video camera on me. The judge is here. their attorneys. They had a couple attorneys there. And their first question was this, because they thought they had me, right? They said, so Mr. Collins, I see that, you put down on your resume that you worked for 10 years during such and such date through such and such date. Is this correct? I said, yes, that is correct. Then they said, well, how is that possible if you were locked up? Right? My attorney,
one-dimensional thinking.
I can't make this up. My attorney, he looked at me like, I thought you told me everything, Roby. I was like, so again, I had to explain to them what I just explained earlier.
And what they say, they was like,
but I'm gonna tell you how to look on their face. I said, yes. I said that is true. I was incarcerated from that time to that time, but if you look at the description and the detail and the dates, they will match the time and the time that I was a cook in
Come on, it's experience.
when I was incarcerated.
It's experience.
And I did work for the state of California. I earned 27 cents an hour. I said there is nothing within a lie on my application, and that is what I put down. I didn't put down that I was
incarcerated.
Working. I didn't put down that I was incarcerated. Right. And I didn't have to.
Plug them with that knowledge too, please.
Mm-hmm.
There's AB, I forgot the assembly bill. But those that are formal incarcerated
individuals. Oh my goodness.
Look it up, crew member. It's an assembly bill. You do not have to put that you have been incarcerated anymore on your application. It's illegal for someone to ask you that when they're trying to hire you. When they do hire you, that's when you can disclose it. A lot of people don't know that. So please.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I told you that when we passed it.
Oh, you did. You did.
We had pushed for that reform when I was working for a nonprofit here. And, it was imperative because we couldn't get good sustaining jobs for our brothers and sisters who was re-entering into, our community. You did your time. Now we need you to pick your slack up too, because all of us is picking up the slack, right?
Yeah,
you can get a fair share of these taxes now. You feel me?
I'm telling you.
And so you're still community members if you've offended and you've reformed yourself.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense for somebody to come home, never get in trouble again,
right?
And
you never got in trouble again.
I never got in trouble
again.
That
is good.
And I've done every positive thing you could think of doing in the community, and y'all gonna give me my pardon. I promise you. Before I take my last breath, y'all giving me my pardon. Period. My record is going to be white clean. I don't care. It's gonna happen.
We put it in the universe. Somebody get Gavin Newsom on the phone.
Get him on the phone.
He want to give $1.5 million away. All we need is a pardon for Art Collins.
Please.
Let's start that petition
up.
Pardon
Lil Wayne and some of these other ones. Give me a pardon.
Lil Wayne shouldn't be pardoned for the dress he had on stage.
But
that's another story.
But real quick, so the attorney, when I told him that information, that side, guess this was their response. Nothing further.
Yeah, nothing further.
That was it.
Strike that from the whole record, because you got dumb.
Hey, that was it.
You got put in your place.
So
when you see a seat, have one. Have one every time you see a seat.
Man, so since you went to college outside of going online, and you actually went, what do you think is the difference between going to school online versus going to school regularly and sitting in a classroom?
So I'm going to tell you, super traditional. I carried all my books in my bag. I was there in the front row.
You didn't get bullied, did you?
I was the bullier. I had to let the Lord help me.
Lord, help us,
I had to let the Lord help me because I just was very short in the master's program with people and teachers. I didn't have time. I was working 2 jobs, which you should never do. I was doing my internship. I was going and driving all the way to Cal State Stanislaus to continue, and I finished my BA with 26 units. I was on one, y'all. I finished the last semester because I wanted to be done. and I didn't want summer school.
Yes.
And I wanted to graduate, and I did 26 units, but I wasn't the only one that did it. It was two colleagues of mine that are my sisters. They did it too. They had 24, and the other one had like 23 units.
Wow.
Either way, we end up graduating and falling asleep at graduation.
That's how
I fell
hard y'all was
asleep.
working.
We were so tired.
But you know what? I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
For all the hard work that it takes sacrifice.
But if I could have done it again, Art Collins, I would have stayed with my plan. I would have been a millionaire because that's my work ethic. And I don't have any regrets, but I'm going to tell you this. Parents, be open. Be open to your children saying, would you invest in me, Mom and Dad? I want to do this business. What can I do? Can you give me mentorship? And that's the intergenerational information that's passed down from our counterparts that are not passed down to our children.
Yeah.
They will invest. Mm-hmm. They will loan against the home or loan against this just to say they're going to invest in that. They see their children as an investment. We need to do the same. Stop kicking your children out at 18. You cannot make it. You got 30 and 40-year-olds who can't make it right now.
Man.
They're pushing for
right. Let them stack their bread up.
They're pushing for $15 an hour. At one time, I thought I was going to go and pick up human poop in San Francisco because they were paying $150,000 a year.
Human poop it is. Where's the scoop, buddy?
It was another one. That was a director one. The human poop was $109,000 a year.
Because I'm gonna be real.
And I really thought I was going to be a pooper scooper for humans because that's the price it is for standard janitorial work in the city. It's so expensive to live here in California. So
it is.
If you're not going to allow your children to stay with you, go somewhere where they can afford to live or encourage them to live somewhere.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. So when you asked me what was different, it was the struggle. It was a struggle.
Yeah.
It was a struggle going back and forth, wondering if I'm going to eat today or I'm going to put money in my gas tank for gas to get to school. Wow. All your financial aid money, they take all that money. Wow. Now, I did right by my money. I paid my bills and my apartment expenses and all that other stuff. But I had to put in work, long hours of study time with
it takes
groups.
Away, yeah.
It takes away from yourself. And thank God I didn't have children. Some of you all are going through school with your children, dropping them off, still have to do soccer practice and still have to do your internship and go to school at night. Some of you all had to take 3-4 years just for, your AA. So it's hard.
It is hard, and okay.
I did night school online for my second semester in psychology. And
how was that?
It was different because I'm a social person and I could not get the interaction that I needed.
Right.
And I learned differently. So because I'm a visual person and I have astigmatism, it's really hard for me to even see the screen. So staring at long lectures, like 2-hour lectures online.
It can be very tiresome. Huh?
No.
You sitting there trying to stay up, kids got you, and everything going on around you. I think for me, I'm not a very social person. So going to school online was perfect for me. I did have kids while I was getting my degree, but I set that time aside every day. It didn't matter where I was at. I could have been on vacation. It didn't matter. If I were I was at Disneyland and I had an assignment to do, I did not leave the hotel until that assignment was done. Now, just, preparing you guys. If you are deciding to go to college, whether online or, in the classroom, and as you heard Rebel Ray said, there is some sacrifices you're going to have to make. Some things that you normally would like to indulge in and do
on
a daily basis.
I thought about going to get my doctorate, and I looked at it a couple of times. But y'all, I'm tired.
The time, and I can't I may be it with my passions. I was gonna go to law school, and I am thinking about it.
I need you to be a family lawyer.
I have been thinking about going to law school.
You need a priest, you need a lawyer, and you need a no. I'm gonna say the third one.
You need a doctor.
No, you need somebody like Dexter in the family.
No,
get rid of people.
Somebody to call.
Call the cleanup guy. Hey,
So-
Joey, we got a
Hey-
situation.
Hey, Joey, you got mozzarella, you know. But so I think the difference for me is the con was not being able to speak with my teacher directly.
Yes.
I did not like that.
Yes.
You have to figure out everything on your own, and then to get in contact with a teacher is like it can
And
be
you
very
know what?
frustrating.
I would have had one of my teacher friends on here. I have a couple. Now, the shift that the pandemic brought change, and it brought change to how we see institutions
Yeah.
of schooling and education. And you know, they make billions of dollars, not just on the consumer, but also on federal grants, money that's proposed for them.
Yeah.
They make millions and millions, and the higher end school make billions of dollars. It takes about $500,000 to go to some Ivy League schools. So just taking all of that into consideration, right? They lost some of that money. They had to reformulate how they were going to keep these kids at bay, all the way from the elementary on up to the Ivy League and the HBCs in between, right? Because they really suffered during this pandemic. They had to revolutionize how they even interacted.
Yeah.
So software tools that were educational, a lot of software engineers, they jumped right on that. They were able to perfect video conferencing and messaging and how you interact with your teacher. So it wasn't maybe when I first did it, we just had video and then we had the email.
Mhm.
You can actually go into a system that they're teaching, submit your homework right then and there. Teachers in online in real time, right? They have a whole system of just how they grade everything. They have a system for y'all that like to plagiarize and don't really like to do your homework.
They definitely do.
They have a system where they run your paper through.
They
And
do.
if there's too many words that fall in the same exact sentence, they hit you with plagiarism.
Yeah,
and now they're keeping your degree away from you.
They will hold your degree.
Yes,
If you
they
turn
do.
in a paper that is found somewhere online, because that what that computer does is it scans every paper that has been turned in online, and guess what?
On the subject matter.
On that subject matter, and if your paper has too many, what I think is more than 20 words or something
20
like
something
that,
like that.
you know, you're going down. The ship is going
They
down.
gonna call you in the dean's office.
They gonna call you. They gonna call you.
And you know, you just kind of want to go to school now for what you want to do. For those that don't want to follow your heart and it's all about the money, which some of you are, we know that engineering, software engineering, anything with computers, the medical industry, solar, right? Any of those progressive, trades,
Yep.
they're doing their thing. But you also have those good money trades that you don't even have. You don't even need a high school diploma, y'all.
Yeah.
Longshoremen, they make
Man,
very
look.
good money.
Yes. You know,
What else?
Longshoremen.
What about electrical engineer? You still have to go to school for that,
Yeah.
or do you have to have a certification?
Well, you can go through trade for it, but if you want to go high in that field, you definitely need your degree.
So I also want to tell you all, there's a little trick to how society works sometimes with people that you're allowed to get knowledge from. If you have a BA, say you want to be a master's in that certain field, you have more than 10 years, 15 years, even 20 years in that field, they will honor that experience and give you credit for it.
Yep.
So you don't have to stay inside of the program as long as someone who's just entering the program.
Yes.
So for some of you all who's got your high school diploma, and you're just something in my heart is like, I want to get my higher education. I make good money. I make okay money working for the state or the federal government. Say you're an analyst, right? People actually have to go to school to be an analyst. But say you went up through the ranks in the state and you're at a high-ranking analyst job, but you just so happen to want to get your BA in whatever they get, business administration, whatever it is, they will take that experience and all you have to do is write up that you want to offer that experience. They'll call you in to the dean's office. They'll look over everything and they'll decide how many credits they want to give you. So with so many things to education, a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
What
definitely.
we did find out though is that those Ivy League schools, percentage of them lost a lot of money because we found out we don't need brick and mortars. We can get the same education, the same degree of prestige right behind a computer screen.
Come on. And even for attorneys, did you know that you could, what's the word I'm looking for? When you are, well, I'll say it the best that I can. But you can become an attorney without going to law school.
You can.
You can. There are a couple ways.
The bar. It's a bunch of people who've taken the bar.
You could take the bar,
and
or
passed.
you can go under an attorney for 4 years, and that attorney sign off for you, and you can then
practice law.
Practice law.
So, say you wanted to do a paralegal certificate, which is a certificate, I believe. I don't think it's 2 years anymore. I don't think it's 2 years. I think it's a certificate.
Mm-hmm.
Say you wanted to do paralegal, and you're an assistant. And a paralegal is basically that. You're just assisting the lawyer in documentation, research, gathering his evidence, maybe talking to some of his witnesses or gathering testimony. And I'm trying to tell you, it's a beautiful way on how to come up in life. So that's just like you can, a lot of y'all don't know. You can actually own a home by squatting.
You can own a home by squatting here in California.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people in the States, right? The people don't know that, but you definitely have to know who you need to talk to.
Yeah. Well, here in California, if you find an abandoned house, and that abandoned house has been sitting and it looks as if nobody has inhabited that house or is inhabiting that house and has not been inhabiting that house, you can aggressively go to the house. And this is real game. If y'all don't believe me, go look it up because I'm giving y'all some free game right now. You can go into the house. And by law, you can cut the grass. You can move in, put your furniture in. You can put that. It's the Joneses residence or whoever Thompson's College, whatever residence it is, and then go to the city and pay all the back property taxes on it. Then, whoever abandoned it, if they ever come back and tell you, hey, this is my property, guess what? They got to pay for all the money you put into the house, and they got to pay for all the back property taxes. Now, if you do this,
so put them up on game.
If you do this, you have to be in the house for 5 years and pay these taxes as if you own the house for 5 years. After 5 years, you can go to a judge and ask for title. If the owner has not came and paid you for all for everything that you put in the house and the back taxes, and you can become the rightful owner of that house.
Free game.
I'm telling you.
For some of you all who got y'all stimulus money, you could have bought a house in Nigeria for less than $5,000. A house built for you, a vacation home for you to go to. There are different places in the world where just for a little bit of nothing, you can have a house built.
Well, I'll give you guys even some more game too, adding on to what you were saying, Rebel. All right, so I actually purchased a triplex in Cleveland. Now, I'm going to tell you guys the amount out here in California for a triplex is going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
At least $450.
Yes, at least. Guess how much I paid for the triplex in Cleveland?
$37,000.
Oh, you are so close. Like you're unbelievably close. Like you went so close.
I've been looking.
So I will tell you guys what the amount is. Crew member, do you want to take a guess?
$34,000.
$34,000. All right, so I paid $27,500 for a triplex in Cleveland. I owned it for 3 years before I sold it. I rented out so I had a 2-bedroom, 1 bath on the lower level, 2-bedroom, 1 bath on the middle level, and on the upper level, I was missing the bathroom. So I rented it out with the second lower level for $500. The bottom I rented out for $550. The bottom I rented out for $450. Now don't get to throwing haters at the screen because of the rental prices I charge. You got to understand the economy is different out there than it is out here. So the amount of rent that you may have charged somebody out here, you're not going to charge them out there. Their economy is different. They're not even their minimum wage is
getting what $7.20. They're getting
$7.25 an hour, something like that for minimum wage. So,
but plug them on why it was important to buy property and buy several lands. That's educational too.
Yeah, it is.
And that's not something that's always passed down or encouraged.
Sure. So I'm gonna give you. See, you know what? Y'all need to cash app us right now.
No,
with the
you know what? You know what? I believe in plugging game because you can lead a horse to water, but if they don't know how to drink it, they're not going to do anything with the plug anyway.
They're not.
But those that do want to be taught, I believe we're reaching back and bringing one back, right? So if I went through it, I could tell you the steps on how I am plugging in with that information.
And this is the importance of education that we're speaking on right now. So look, I'm going to give you guys some ultimate game right now, right? So first, let me go back. Okay, so I rented out that for $1,000 a month. My property taxes was like $1,700 a year. You do the math. $1,700 a year, $1,000 a month. I was getting $12,000 a year off the property. My property taxes was $1,700 a month. Minus that from $12,000, I'm getting like $10,300 for in my pocket. You see what I'm saying? And this is money that I didn't have to pay to the IRS. I've already paid my property taxes out there. So guess what? I'm going to give you guys some more game. I bought some property out here in California. And let me tell you how I bought it, right? Not talking about the house that I currently live in because I bought that as well. But so there's auctions, right? But this is not just any auction. It's not like the regular auction you hear about where they sell the property at the doorstep for, whatever and all this. This is called a tax sale auction, y'all. Now, let me give you some real deep game about this. They have these auctions once a year. How do I know? Because I have been a participant in these auctions. I researched these auctions while I was incarcerated and then finally, when I got the money to purchase, I went and purchased. Mm-hmm. So how this works is out here in Stockton, I believe it's either August or September that they have these auctions. You just got to go to the city and find out when these auctions are being held, and they'll give you a list of properties at the tax sale auctions, not tax lien. What's the word I'm looking for? Not the
tax assessed or
it's another kind of auction.
Okay.
But these are called tax sale properties. And what that is all you have to do is pay the back taxes on the property.
And yours.
It's yours.
The deed is yours.
Listen, even if it has a loan against the property, that loan is wiped away here in California.
This is good knowledge, y'all.
California is like the golden state for these kind of tax sales. Now, if you go to another state like, I don't know.
Some people didn't use that stimulus money like they were supposed to.
No.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, thanks, crew member. Foreclosed property tax sales. Okay, so they have but I'm not talking about foreclosed foreclosed auctions. I'm talking about tax sale auctions. Now, in different states, some of these how that works, and I'm going to give you guys a full game real quick because this is very important, and I want to help somebody. Now, in other states, the tax sale works a little bit differently than in California. It's golden out here. In other states, what you do is you purchase a tax sale certificate of the property. Now, if the person owes, let's say they owe $5,000, right? You purchase the tax certificate. You pay all the back taxes on that tax certificate. It may be $2,000, $4,000, who knows, right? Let's say it's $4,000. Now, that person has to pay you all of that money back, or they lose their property after whatever the amount of time.
It's not a gamble for you. It's an investment.
It's an investment.
That money back.
You're going to get it back, or you're going to get the property. So Like there's certain
Dang.
states like Michigan or where they allow 2 years. I think Michigan gives you 2 years to pay it back. I'm going to get that tax certificate. I'm going to pay that amount of money on that tax certificate for 2 years. And guess what? If you don't come back and pay me all that money plus 25%, you have to pay me the money plus 25% on that tax certificate. If you don't, I'm going to the judge and I'm going to get that property. And they're going to give it to me.
That's monopoly code.
Yes.
That's like pass and go with no
It
200.
is. And I'm going to get that property, and I don't care what the price of the property. The property could be $150,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. Now, going back to California, why is California so golden? Let me tell you why. So, if I go to a tax sale in California, I'm sitting there, and say, for instance, and I've seen it. Listen, I've seen houses go for $12,000. If there's nobody bidding against you, you can get a house by paying the taxes for 12, 15, 20, 30. Listen, I'm telling you, right? Now look, you sit at the auction. I'm going to give you my personal experience because I bought land. I didn't buy property at this auction. So I seen some land that I wanted to purchase, right? Because my goal was to either put a house on it or resell it for 3-4 times the amount that I purchased it for. So I sat at the auction. The property went for $4,500.
Wow.
First, no, they started up the bid off at like $2,000 or something. The owner came to the auction to bid to purchase it back for a cheaper rate because, see, in California, if you do not redeem your property by the end of the tax sale, you lose it. It's not like in those other it's not like in those other states. See, in the other states, they give you like 2 years. In California, the day of the auction, you lose it. Other states, the day of the auction, the person may have like 2 to 5 years to get their property back and redeem it. Mm-hmm. Here in California, again, I'm going to say it. Once you purchase the property at the tax sale, it is yours. So this is what happened to me. So I see the property that I wanted. I bid against the owner because they were wanted the property back, and I went to $4,500 and they stopped at $4,500. They gave me the property for $4,500. Look, outside of any IRS liens or any of that. But let me tell you guys, there is a catch. Okay, you have to do your homework on these properties because the title could be there. It could be cloudy. Okay, it could be something on that title. You gotta research.
Where do you go and research to get?
You can go to the city planner. You can call the title company who holds the title. It's just many different ways that you can figure it out. With the address. But mind you, I'm going to tell you the problems I had. And I'm going to tell you the solutions I had. So I knew this, but I didn't do my research. So I purchased the property. At the auction, they'll tell you, okay, there's no IRS liens on it. But they'll let you know if there is one. So I knew that there was none on this because they said there was no IRS liens. So I was like, cool, I don't have an IRS lien on the property. I'm going to get it for $4,500. I kept the property for years. I was going to put a house on the property and rent it out. But what happened was, money got a little funny. I invested in other things and I decided to sell, right? So the property that I had, I sold for way more than I bought it for, okay? I'm telling y'all, this is real game. Way more than I bought it for. But when I sold it, what they're going to do is they're going to do a title search if they're smart. Now, I sold the property in Cleveland and they didn't do a title search. They weren't smart. That's not my problem. My problem is to sell you the property as is and get you to sign the contract. Now, it is your problem to look and do a title search to make sure that there is nothing on the title. I wasn't sure if there was anything on the title. There wasn't with the property in Cleveland, but it's still their job to look it up. I'm not going to do it. Look, as a business person, I'm not going to look it up for you. Okay? I'm just interested in selling the property. I will let you know, hey, if there's something on the title, that's on you to look it up. Now, fast forward, I sold the property. This person was smart. They looked it up. There was something on the title. So
you had to refund that back to them?
I didn't. I did
that in 30 days, or tell us the timeline.
So you it just depends on the kind of deal that you're structuring with the person and how bad they want the property. So there was $9,000 owed on the property. So in my mind, $9,500 actually. I guess with the city of Stockton, there was I guess it was used that they got penalized because whoever owned the property used it to store a bunch of trash on the property, and they got fined heavily throughout the years for not taking care of it. I did not know this. Why? Because I did not do a title search on my own property when I got it. My bad. Right. So, but I didn't care because I thought I was going to keep the property anyway. But, so when I sold it, I told the person who I was selling it to, listen, since there is $9,500 owed, like you said, I will deduct the $9,500 from the purchase amount, and then you can give me the difference, and then we'll take care of it that way. And that's what I did. But let me explain something to you. This was my property. As soon I got the deed of the property at the tax sale, a paper, and then they send you the actual deed in the mail.
Wow.
So you can get a property for 50. Listen, I guarantee it. Hear me when I tell you this. And I'm hoping I'm helping somebody right now. Right? It's called tax sale auctions. They're once a year in every county. Right? Now, in Stockton.
Where do you go and find it on what website? Is it the county? Is it the city government? Where
it's the county.
Go and look it up?
It's the county.
Okay.
And you can go to the county assessors and ask them for that information, and they will give it to you.
Okay.
There's many different ways. They do have a website. It's just different cities have different ways to access this information.
There you go.
Now, with this tax sale information, I want you to know that this is very true. I'm not telling you something that is false. I've done it. It is true. I made my money. I purchased property. I was with a friend who some of y'all know who he is. He's a millionaire out here. But I was with a friend who was purchasing property there as well, and he owns many properties based off of this. Get $100,000. I promise you. For those of you that can, if you get a loan or whatever. Well, I don't think they take loan. You gotta have
to have cash.
You have to have cash. It takes $5,000 to get in the auction. Right? About $5,000, you got to have that either in a cashier's check or cash. You want to do cashier's check for the smart ones. Cashier's check, get into the auction, that'll get your foot in there. When you get in there, I'm telling you, you do your research on all these properties. Some of them, look, there was not one property I seen going for over $100,000. This is properties that you can own. I even seen a club go for $110,000. A club. Listen, y'all. Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Do what you have to
Research. All I do all day.
Get your money together. Get that money together. A lot of you are focused on the credit, but there's ways around that.
There is.
Still build your credit, though. Still build your credit.
Make it work for you. All I do is research.
This has been a plethora of just different information. So I want to give kudos and shout outs to you, R. Collins, for plugging us with that information.
Definitely.
Show enough.
Because a lot of people feel like they can't do. See, it's so much game. I'm gonna give y'all one more tool, right?
Or do you wanna do it for next session, because we can get some realtors on here.
We're gonna do that too. No, we're gonna do that too.
On here,
We're gonna do that too, and we're gonna let them speak. But real quick. So quick story. So when I came home before I got a job, I didn't say this. I knew I needed money. So guess what I did? This is what I did. I said, okay, I don't have any money. They only gave me $200 in gate money. And this is me telling y'all to think outside of the box. You are somebody, okay? So I didn't have no gate money. I only had $200. That's it. So I didn't have no money. So I said, what Roby? Think. Guess what? I'm in a think tank, walking, thinking. All I'm doing is thinking. Use your brain, man. Use your brain. It's the most powerful thing you can use. So in my mind, I said, okay, what can I do? I have no money. I have no job. Until I get a job, what can I do? I said, how can I make money without anything? Aha! So guess what? Guess what I did, y'all? So I started a moving company. Let me tell you how I did it, though.
I remember that.
So this is what I did. I had no money. So I said, okay, what I'm going to do is, okay, so what do I need? I need a truck. I need insurance. You know what I mean? I need workers. And I need marketing, right? I didn't even know what Craigslist was.
Yeah.
I started looking up different ways online on how to market. I found out Craigslist. I didn't even know what Craigslist was. I found out some of these other platforms that I was able to use for free. So in my mind, I said, what I'll do is I looked at all the rates. Everybody was charging $1,700, $2,000, $2,500 to move a 5-bedroom, all this. I said, okay, then I need to look professional. I can't come in a U-Haul truck. I don't have a truck, so let me get a Penske truck because there's less labels on it, right? So this is what I did. I said, there's less labels on it. It's going to look like it's my company, right? And it's going to look like it's my truck when I pull up. They ain't got to know this. But how am I going to get the money to get this? So what I did was, all right, I didn't have insurance. I didn't have any of that. So I said, okay, I added up the cost of all of this versus how much I would make if I charge and undercut. So in my mind, I said, okay, they're charging this. I'm going to undercut everybody because I'm hungry and I need the money, right?
Come on.
And I have nothing, right? So what I did was I undercutted everybody. I put an ad out, right? This is how I got my money, y'all. Look, I'm moving people for half the price, right? Half the price. I didn't care what it was. Look, I was so hungry. I was like, look, I don't have the manpower to move big old pianos.
I was best about to ask you that.
I had to make that specific in there, but I'll move everything else, right? And I didn't care if it was a 7-bedroom. My first move was a mansion. I literally moved that mansion on my first move, right? But this is how I did it. I put an ad out and I told them that they would have to pay a deposit, half of the amount, right? So when they hired me, I made them sign a contract, gave them a receipt, right? Then I went and paid for my insurance with the deposit. Then I kept money to the side for the truck on the day that I would have to move, right? Then part of the money I associated in my mind how much I could pay these workers. So I said, okay, I can only pay the workers, like $9 an hour. But hey, if you want the job or not, guess what? This is what I can afford. And then the other amount I was able to pocket. So what I did was I had them front me the money. I said, you can and book the date. I made them, you got to book the date and you have to front me the money to book the date. They fronted me the money, booked the date, but I had to look professional. I can't come in here pants sagging, looking like some stuff. They're not going to believe me.
You have to bathe, even though you're doing manual labor. It's important. Like, you're going into people's homes, brush your teeth, wash the sweat out of your eyes, and have pride. We're talking about Black excellence always, right?
There's always
young people can have pride in how you look, even if you're doing an on-the-hands job where you're going to get sweaty. When you sweat and you try to put X body spray or cologne over that doesn't work. If your mom or somebody, your mama shouldn't have told you that.
You don't offend the people you're working with.
But don't offend the people. Exactly, right? So you have to look the part.
You have to look the part. My mom can attest to this. I hired her as my manager. You know what I mean? I'm just being real. And we went to work. And guess what? Call after call after call after call. Listen, I'm pocketing money that I didn't even have.
Let's go.
Okay, don't be upset with me when you see me winning. Okay, when you see me winning, because I'm gonna win. But all it takes is thought. It takes thought. And we're giving you free game on this podcast.
And a lot of people say, well, how do you pull yourself up by your bootstraps when you have no boots? Art Collins just told you exactly how to do it. Now, for all that need a little bit more game analyzation, he will be writing his book soon. And he's going to challenge your thought process and be able to come out of your traditional thinking. I know I had to. This pandemic woke me all the way up. When systems were shut down, because I worked for the system, being a clinician. When systems were shut down, guess what I had to do? I had to fall back on some of the things that I taught myself through the years and learned from others. All of those talented things in hospitality and hosting and understanding business and concepts and organization. I had to lean back on all of those things. Do that fall in my degree? Hospitality don't. But I knew I had to fall back on that. I had to open up the mobile bar and lounge. I had to reestablish the catering company and reestablish myself out there. They closed down events. So I said, what can I do with my talent while I'm waiting? I was over the millions of people that was waiting on their unemployment because it was backlog. So I had to do something to sustain myself. And I just started fixing plates. I also started negotiating with families. Hey, for family night, call me. I'll fix your dinner. It was so many of us that had to bring that ingenuity out just to survive. And you gotta have that every day, though.
And you even opened up a restaurant. She had a restaurant.
I had my restaurant open and all of that.
Yeah, I'm not even
curbside.
Yeah.
I mean, I had my friends in there.
Yeah.
I couldn't pay anybody right off the bat, but I had my Art Collins. I called on my friends, and we got that fish fried. Got that banana
and
pudding.
The food looked. Listen.
It looked and it was screaming.
It looked elegant. It looked like something. Listen, that you
so
like
shout out
5-star restaurant.
Shout out to @PerfectEvents. That's my Instagram name. Go look at some of the food. But I just play around a little bit, and I love to just create. And I love home style cooking. Real good Southern feel good cooking. I don't do a lot of healthy things, which I probably should.
Yeah.
But the feel good cooking, and it's okay to eat out once in a while. But plug your dollars with entrepreneurs, y'all.
Yeah.
Come on, there's so many talented people out there.
It is. You'll find that even in this pandemic, some of us have lost jobs. Some of us, you can't depend on the job market forever. And let me tell you guys something. If this is the kind of thinking that you got, hey, that's fine. I mean, like, live your life how you want to live it. But how I live my life, I don't plan on working 40 years.
There you go.
To retire
it is the new
when
enslavement.
I'm 60.
It is the new enslavement. And just think about it. You take almost how many years off your life? Crew member, someone actually wrote that statistic. Please find it for me because it's a profound statistic. It's they broke it down to hours and they broke it down to years on how many hours you stay in traffic trying to commute to a physical job. You're actually taking those years off of being with your children, being with your spouse. A lot of people found out they really didn't like the person they were sleeping with because they were in traffic. And let me put that together. When you're in traffic, you're missing out and getting to know a person. Yeah. So when traffic stopped, commuting stopped, and we had to telecommute from our homes, some of y'all relationships didn't survive telecommuting.
Yeah.
Because you didn't even know who the person you were living with. I have couples come in and they were in total destined, just didn't know who the person they had married because that person had changed. And that's how much time is taken away from us when we don't take the time for self-care. How many of y'all don't take the time for self-care?
That is so important. Speak that.
Come on.
People don't understand.
This is education. We're talking about education. All of this is life education.
It is.
You all are talking about, I'm going vegan for my hair. Well, your body's a temple too.
Yeah.
Right? So how many of you are self-caring about your body? You're sitting around in a car, you're miserable. You really don't like so-and-so the next door to the cubicle. You're miserable. You don't feel your sacred purpose. What can you do to fulfill that and still make money?
So our crew member got the statistics for it. I'll let you read it.
Okay. So according to the Texas A&M Transportation Institute Urban Mobility Scorecard, the average American commuting to and from an urban center will spend 42 hours sitting in traffic every year. 42 hours, you guys. If you work for 35 years, this remained constant, you would be spending more than 61 days stuck behind the wheel. 61 days.
Do you know how?
So what's that? 42. Let's do the even staggering.
That's crazy.
Remember, 42 hours times 42 hours is 42 hours a year. So the average for a woman is 80 years, and the average for a male in America is 75 years. So times 42 times 75, and tell me how many hours you'd be stuck behind a car.
Well, you got to do it at the age of work. So let's say 18. Let's minus 18 from whatever the total amount is. So let's see. 42 times 75 minus 18. 3,132 hours.
3,000.
Of doing nothing.
Of sitting around, your colon smashed into your waistline.
Wow.
You're wondering why you're gaining so much weight. You're sitting down at work. You're sitting down in the car. You're listening to what knows on the radio. You're not feeding your spirit, your mind, your intellect, your social capabilities, your imagination, getting out into the world. Some of y'all ain't been over the Bay Bridge. Some of y'all ain't been out of California, let alone Stockton. Feed yourselves. Feed yourself. That's educational right there. And we're over our time limit, but this was a real deep conversation, and we might want to invite some different perspectives for a panel.
I think we will.
I think that would be dope.
I think that would be awesome.
Maybe some philosophical people, maybe some business-minded people, young and old.
Young and old.
I think our panel holds 10, including us. So let's go full throttle and bring you that. So we could try to work on that probably after Juneteenth.
Yeah.
And after you come back, that would be dope just to hear all those perspectives.
We're gonna do that because it is
I'll line it up.
Very
I'll work
important.
on that.
It is very important for the most important thing in life, and I didn't really realize this till I was behind the bars. Is your time.
Your time.
Your time. Look. When I came back, y'all don't even. When I came back, think about how long 10 years is of loop. You know what I mean? Y'all see me now, some people mad, some people happy. I don't know. But will you go through the sacrifice of sitting 10 years and losing your life? I had some sacrifices I made in my life for the things that I've done. Some of you have done a lot of things and you ain't went through some things like that. And I lost time. And when I came home, those that were young and little were now old and grown.
Yeah.
Like you know how disturbing that is?
Like me.
Listen, I felt it was like a time machine.
It was a time machine.
So don't spend get that out of your mind with, I'm going to just spend, and they program us.
Yes, they do.
The American, America program.
Colonized Western values, not just America. Because over there in
overseas
English, colonized Western values tell us this is how you have to do in order to be successful.
Tell us educated.
And we've been successful. It's in our DNA.
Yeah.
It's in our ancestralship. It's in our history way before we were enslaved.
Yes.
And so remember those things. Take in mindfulness. That's a teacher always.
Yes.
Being quiet, being still. I, like my little daughter, I love her so much. I am a talkative person. I am someone who can communicate and go places and be bubbly and everything. I had to learn mindfulness. I had to learn to be still and be one with everything that's around you. Some of you don't believe in the universal talk, but I'm going to talk universe because you're a part of it. So take in the bumblebee, take in the smell of the earth, take in the ocean, take in the greenery and the trees around you. Put that phone down. Open your mind. Talk with another sapio person. That's someone who values intellect. Okay? Conversate on a book.
Everybody always want to hit the gas and they ain't even going nowhere.
Some of y'all need to sit down and not ghost drive the whip. What is it? Ghost ride the whip no more. Y'all, ain't nobody even in the middle of the vehicle passenger. Now, I'm going to tell y'all this something funny. Because I love my people. But some of us, y'all got to put that dope down. Don't smoke.
I was just about to say
don't do none of that. You had little brain cells as it is. You needed to develop it and you're run that. Dope does that too.
It ages you too.
And I needed to help a young lady who got stuck on the side of the road and she thought she was going to help me push her car. But nobody was driving the car. Nobody was driving the car, y'all. So I'm behind pushing it. And she gets out the car. And she gets behind there with me and starts pushing it. So I said, who's in the car? And she said, oh, I didn't know. And clearly she was under the influence. But I'm saying stuff like that, that's comical and everything, right? And I'd be like off the wall with my examples. But that's how our confidence sometimes is. You guys in today's society, y'all too worried about what's on TikTok, what's all on the social media. Make moves. Make them quiet and execute.
Yes.
Let's go. Everybody not going to be happy for you. You get happy. You get excited.
Yes.
Stay with that energy.
You are the most unique person
Come on.
that was ever created.
Yes.
There will never be another like you.
No.
And they're not coming off the assembly line. You are you. So guess what? Just like that millionaire and that person with all that peace and happiness, how they're allowing their circumference to have all of that.
Have all of that.
You allow yourself to have, because you're somebody.
And
that's
emotional, intellectual.
It is.
That boundaries. That's emotional and intellectual boundaries. You do not allow anybody who cannot plant a seed of peace disturb your peace.
No.
You don't do it. I had to learn that. It took me 20-something years to learn it. But you don't. You continue your peace, continue your transcendence,
Yes.
meaning you're moving upward.
Yeah, you're moving up.
You can't stay at the same space,
You
right?
can't.
You're going to be encouraged, right? And you're going to encourage yourself. You're going to do your daily affirmations. I am somebody.
Man,
I
speak
am
that.
Come on. I'm
Yeah.
going to make it. I will overcome. I will become a millionaire at the age of 42.
Yes.
So I'm giving you 2 more years. The age of 42, a consistent millionaire and residual. Did I say it right that time?
Residual
income is coming to me. You profess that. And you don't have to settle. You don't have to settle.
And then on top of professing, let me tell you how powerful what she just said. There's times where I'll go in the mirror, right? I'm giving y'all some transparency here, right? I'll go in the mirror and I say, Roby, you're somebody.
That's right.
Roby, you're powerful.
That's right.
Roby, you can conquer anything that comes in your door. Like I'll talk to myself, because I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of things that we hear. And sometimes the things that we hear are not positive.
No.
The things that we hear are
They
meant.
get in your spirit.
They get in our spirit, and then we think that we're nothing. We don't think we can do it. We don't think that but once you get that encouragement, because you are somebody.
Yes.
Once you get that encouragement, once you start lifting up and you understand that I am somebody. Okay, where do I go from here?
Yes.
Just have a vision. Have a vision, right? First thing is to visualize what you are going to do. Once you get the encouragement and you know that you are somebody, because it takes confidence first. You are not going to accomplish some of these things without being confident.
Yeah.
Right? Being confident in yourself and being confident in what you are capable of.
Mm-hmm.
And not worrying about who is better or who you think can do something better. I'm better.
And stop posting everything on Instagram and Facebook.
Yes.
Don't nobody care.
Nobody
You're
cares.
just allowing people to count your pockets, learn your moves,
Yeah.
and then everybody's not encouraged by that. They're not
No.
inspired.
No.
Some people are haters.
Yeah.
Some people want to be miserable.
Yeah.
And try to get around that and not surround yourself with that. When you're trying to move to the mountaintop, everybody can't go with you. The air is thinner, right? Gravity is harder, right?
Ooh.
Everyone don't have the right hiking shoes.
Man, come on.
And you can't carry that weight on you because you're going against what is supposed to keep
It's going to
you
be
down.
harder.
So remember that. Keep the fire against all odds, y'all.
Yeah.
Remember that. We
Definitely.
talk about things. We're going to plug y'all with information, perspective. Ain't nobody going to whoop us for it either. Because we're here to encourage, to love, to unify, to transcend, right? And grow. To grow, right?
Yes.
We're all for that. We love you all. Thank you for always tuning in.
Yeah, we really appreciate you guys.
Try something different. Try what we talked about this week.
Try it.
Look into research. Look into grants. There's so much stuff out there for us right now. So Ashe, amen. It is so. Do what you got to do.
I would like to give a shout out to Disciple. He got married today.
Disciple, my baby daddy. I'm playing. See, I'm a hater.
She a hater. She gonna disturb the wedding. Wifey gonna come down here and see. Look at that.
I'm messy. Congratulations, Disciple. And congratulations, Mrs. Disciple.
Yes.
God is actually in marriage, and it's a good thing.
He favors marriage.
Yes.
And I would like to leave you guys with this that our crew member gave. It says, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present.
The present.
You know, so it's not, if you're waking up every morning, you're blessed.
Come on.
Be encouraged.
Take
I
it
want
in.
you to take it in.
Woo!
Wake up and
It's the
know
Holy
that
Ghost.
you are
It's the Holy
somebody.
Ghost coming.
Because you are somebody.
I've been practicing on my shout.
Do great things. Because you're going to do great things. All right? And we love y'all.
What we
Thank
calling
you.
this one? Rotating back.
Uh,
Bye, y'all. See
We
y'all
love you
later.
guys.
Peace.
Hit the bell.
Hit the bell, the notification
The
bell.
notification bell.
Like us,
subscribe,
share.
Mm-hmm. Make sure you share because we got some powerful stuff.
For sure.
Always coming
We're
to
gonna work on that panel.
We are.
Let's go.
We love y'all.
Peace.